Ribbon SBC Edge services and support services and the implementation course that we are going to take in the next couple of weeks. So we wanted to have you guys a little bit feeler of the course that we are going to cover. So what we will do is that we will talk about the Ribbon SPC, the Ribbon SPC Edge portfolio specifically. We will touch base on a couple of different products, but the main focus of the course will be on the Edge portfolio of the Ribbon SPCs. We will talk about the support and as well as the complete implementation of the SPC. My name is Adnan Khan. I have been working with Ribbon for the last couple of years, like 7 or 8 years. In total, I have been working in the VoIP industry for the last 12 years in different capacities. And I'm going to be your trainer for the remainder of this course. Like, let's suppose we start next week. So, next week, for the entire course, I'll be your instructor and I will be guiding you through all of this course material that we are going to cover. So the class time, as you can see, it will start around 10 o'clock in the morning. The course duration will be around 2 o'clock and it will depend upon the progress that we make. So for example, if we see that there is a little bit time required and we need to cover things, so on the progress we make, we will decide on that. It will be a 2 hours every Saturday and Sunday. It will be a knowledge based presentation. We will talk about different things. We will talk about labs that we are going to cover, and we will also have the course material that we will be discussing over here in our 2 hours class every Saturday and Sunday. At the end of the course, or at the end of on each section, you will receive a lab environment. You will have the access to labs where you will be able to perform your labs, not all of them, because actually a couple of labs will require to have the SPC on premise, but we will try to cover and we will show you each and every lab that we are going to conduct. The labs that we will be conducting, as being an instructor, I will do step-by-step labs in front of you guys. You will be able to understand, you will be able to ask questions. We will talk about the real life use cases of that lab, and you will also get complete instructions. Like, I'll be the one doing the lab first, and then it will be your turn to do the same whenever you people can do. What I would like to expect from your side is that I would expect that you guys will attend each module, because actually each and every module is going to be on top of the previous module. So for example, if we create one lab, the next lab that is going to be, it will be based on the previous lab. So I would request you to have full attendance and ask questions. Uh, the more questions you ask, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But just in case if we see that there is a detailed discussion required for the topic, then I can provide you complete overview for the question that you have. What we are going to cover in the course, first of all, we will talk about the provisioning. Obviously, since the SPC is the main purpose of SPC is to connect different islands from different technologies, we will talk about SIP. We will talk about the ISDN. We will talk about the channel associated signaling, that is the TDM and FXO FXS. We will look into complete troubleshooting. First of all, we will talk about the provisioning. Once we provision them, we may come across some kind of problems. Then we will talk about troubleshooting. We will also talk about supporting and monitoring. Like, for example, if we need to provide complete support for these kinds of technologies, so what exactly is our way forward? This is something we are going to cover. We will start with the hardware and software architecture. We will talk about the different kind of SBCs, the different form factors that Ribbon is offering. The underlying software architecture is almost the same for every SBC. So just in case if you work on one SBC, it will be very easy for you to work on all of the edge portfolio of the Ribbon. We will talk about the specifications regarding each individual form factor, whether it is a hardware edition or a software edition of SBC. So we will talk about the complete specifications. We will talk about the functional differences they have. We will talk about the kind of technologies they connect, and we will talk about different kind of uh, services that they are offering. Then we will talk about the deployment and implementation. Again, deployment and implementation is something we can talk about how we can deploy our SPC and what will be the result if we deploy an SPC in a specific manner. If we, like, for example, are we going to deploy the SPC downstream, or it is going to be upstream SPC deployment, or it is going to be connecting to a PBX on premise, or it is going to connect to cloud services like Microsoft Teams, Zoom, etc. So we will talk about the deployment and implementation of the SPC in different scenarios. All of these scenarios, including Microsoft Teams, will be covered. Then we need to understand the call flows. So that is a big topic. We will discuss the call flows. How are we receiving the call? If we receive a call on one leg of the SPC, how are we transferring the call to another leg? What is our next endpoint that we want to connect to, and how is the call connecting to that next endpoint? So these are the call flows that we will talk about. And in the end, we will also talk about integration with Microsoft Teams. So let's suppose if you have an SPC and you want to connect the SPC to Microsoft Teams for PSTN integration. So we will talk about Microsoft Teams and how to connect to Microsoft Teams. We will cover Ribbon SPC, and slightly we might also cover, if we got a chance, we might also cover the Teams Admin Center very quickly. So this is the roadmap that we are going to cover. First of all, as I mentioned, we will talk about the introduction. We have introduction about different products of the SPC. We will go and we will set up the SPC, which will be the section of initial setup. We will look into first time checks. We will go into user interfaces. We will see what are the differences. Then we can go and provision some kind of local SIP endpoints. So we can register our phones directly. We can register our clients directly on the SPC. Again, in the deployment options, there will be a lot of different options that we can look into. Like there will be some options that we will talk about the call flow architecture. How is the ribbon receiving the call and how the call is being sent to the next peer or dial peer. Then, for example, if you face any kind of problems in real life scenario regarding the support, and you are being an engineer, you are called upon for troubleshooting of the SPC. So we will have a couple of lessons on planning and support, and specifically troubleshooting the SPC. Then there are some just something that we can talk about features and enhancements. Like for example, if we are going to have some kind of transcoding for Microsoft Teams, what are other enhancements? So these are all of the features that we are going to talk about. Okay, so this is like once we start, this will be our first module where we will talk about the introduction to the Ribbon SBC's portfolio. So this is the portfolio. First of all, like, let me give you a brief overview of Ribbon. Ribbon, earlier it was called Sonus, and Sonos was offering gateway services, gateway devices for different uh, cloud services and on-premises PBX, including Link and Skype for Business. Then Ribbon and GenBand was actually offering the portfolio of core SPCs for telco providers. So Ribbon and GenBand merged in 2017, and Sonos and GenBand merged in 2017, and they become Ribbon Communications. So ever since they have been offering both the core and edge portfolio of the SPC, like the enterprise SPCs and the service provider SPCs. So all of these SPCs provide securing communication of the networks. Like for example, if you deploy them in any data or voice network, so you can these SPCs are used to secure the network. Obviously, we will talk about the preventing of voice threats, like there are toll fraud attacks, there are different spoofing attacks that we will talk about. So these SPCs will uh, prevent those threats. Secondly, if you are going to migrate your communication, I would say unified communications into the cloud, whether it is Genesis, whether it is Microsoft Teams, Cisco BroadSoft, or any other cloud platform. So all of these platforms would require you to have a secure communication of the trunking. So even if you are going to deploy the the communication platforms in the cloud, so these are the SPCs that you can use. And then you obviously the quality of communication experience, as we mentioned, like there would be discussions regarding transcoding, there would be discussions some vendor specific things, they have some kind of requirements that they need on your end, so we will talk about the quality of communication experience. And again, like if you are going to have some kind of a connectivity in the network, so we need to have that connection completely secure. Encryptions is offered, so the network, the communication protocols should be encrypted and things like that. Then what are the SBC's portfolio? Uh, First of all, as I mentioned, that these SBCs are certified, all of these SBCs are completely certified for Microsoft Teams. They are certified for Zoom, WebEx, Genesis, Google Voice. Since Ribbon is a leading manufacturer, they have a partnership with most of these players in the market. So they are completely, the entire portfolio that you see in front of you, this is certified for all of these service providers, including Microsoft, Zoom, WebEx, and things like that. So first of all, Ribbon has a portfolio of core SPCs. These SPCs are deployed in the telco or service provider data centers because of their high number of sessions, like the SBC 5400. SBC 5400 supports around 75,000 concurrent sessions. Then we have SBC 7000. The SBC 7000 has the max concurrency of 150,000 concurrent sessions. All of these devices in the service provider field, they support high availability. So they have one active and a standby SPC. Then on the right hand side, if you see there is an SBC3. So SBC3 is the exact replica of SBC 54,000 and 7,000, but that is totally on software. That is a totally virtual edition and software based edition of the SBC. And it runs on um off the shelf servers from HP, Dell, and these kind of compute powers are required. So first of all, there is a service provider uh, division. The top line that you see, these are the service providers. Then in the middle, we have SPC 1000 and SPC 2000. We will work on SPC 1000 as well as the SPC 3 Edge on the right hand side. This is the virtual edition of the SPC 1000 and SPC 2000. So SBC 1000 and SBC 2000, like SBC 1000 supports 192 concurrent sessions in SIP to SIP, and the SBC 2000 has a max concurrency of around 600 sessions uh, in SIP to SIP environment. This concurrency drops when you convert from TDM to SIP. We will talk about that. Then ribbon in the middle, I left that SBC 8000, like 8100 and 8300 series, uh, in the middle, and let's talk about the SBC SWE Edge first. So SBC SWE Edge is a software edition, same like ribbon SBC 1000 and 2000. It will provide the same functionality. It will have the same configuration, and it provides a concurrency of 1200 sessions. Recently, yesterday Ribbon has released a new firmware for this SBC SWE Edge, and with that firmware, the SBC SWE Edge will now be able to support 1200 concurrent sessions. It supports high availability. It can be deployed both on premises and in the cloud. You will find Microsoft Azure footprints of this SBC. So if you want to deploy the SBC in the Azure cloud, you will be able to deploy the SBC in the Azure. And if you want to deploy the SBC on premises, so Hyper-V, VMware, and KVM are the platforms where you can provision this SBC on premises. Now, SBC 1000, SBC 2000, and SBC SWE Edge, the one that is on the right hand side, all of them support Teams SBA. SBA is the survivable branch appliance. So just in case of WAN outages, let's talk about Microsoft Teams. So let's suppose if you have the SBC connected to Microsoft Teams and you have a WAN outage, so your users will still be able to make and receive calls using the SBC 1000 with SBA, SBC 2000 with SBA, and the SBC SWE Edge. Then let's talk about the SBC 8000 series. SBC 8100 and 8300, these are the SBCs which Ribbon has recently launched. Actually, these are not only SBCs, these are the SBCs plus routers. It is the same concept that Cisco has it in ISR routers. It is also a data router. Along with the data router, there is a virtual machine inside of this SBC, and that virtual machine is none other than SBC SWE Edge that we see on the right hand side. So the SBC 81 Edge 8100 series is a router. You can configure the network ports with 1 gig, 5 gig, and 10 gig speeds. And then you can also have the SBC functionality along with the router functionality. So in SBC Edge 8100, you will only find the Ethernet ports. It means you can only connect the SIP to SIP connectivity, like you can connect SIP only. But in SBC Edge 8300, you will find PRI TDM ports as well. So you can go up to 24 FXO or 24 FXS or 4 PRIs. So the SBC Edge 8100, it will provide complete SIP to SIP connectivity. Again, if you go to license the SBC, the license for the SBC, you can license is up to 900 concurrent sessions. And you can also have the routing capability up to 10 gig. In SBC 8300, you can again license the SBC to 900 concurrent sessions along with but this time the connectivity will be TDM or FXO or FXS. So you can connect the FXO and FXS options as well. Then the EdgeMark series is again the service provider series, which they provide as a CPE, customer premises
Yeah, again, I have one doubt. Actually, this second one is enterprise edge, right? So where we are in the production environment, like in our organization or Wipro or HCL, the peoples will use mostly 1,000 or software edge. Is I am right? Because
Yes,
that is for
yes,
enterprise. Now my
yes,
question is,
exactly.
when I'm checking this slide, see, I'm also new to Ribbon. I know somewhat
Hmm.
audio code. Okay, when I'm checking the section, you are mentioned like only 1,000 sections are there for SWH, whatever for enterprise edge. So that means like in my production environment, I can't go beyond 1,000. Is the right understanding?
Yes, yes, exactly. You cannot go beyond 1000 concurrent sessions. If you want to go beyond 1000 session, you will either have to bring in a second instance, or you can go and go to the service provider SPCs. Now, this is a very good question. Now, let's suppose if I have only 1500, if I only have a requirement of 1500 concurrent sessions. So, if I have only 1500 concurrent sessions requirement, what you can do is that the service provider SPC that you see on the top, on the right hand side, you see the SBC suite. That is the virtual edition of the core SPCs. So
Mm.
you can license the same SPC from 5 concurrent sessions up to 150 concurrent sessions. Let me talk about this thing. I'm talking about this. This, okay. So this
Okay.
SPC, you can go with five. You can purchase this SPC with only 5 concurrent sessions, and this SPC will also support multi-tenancy. Okay, these all
Mm.
of these SPCs, this SPC, all of these SPC will support multi-tenancy. So
Oh,
just in case if my requirement is not going to fulfilled with the SPC3 edge, I can shift to SPC3, and from SPC3 you can purchase the licenses as little as concurrent licenses, and you can in the future you just need to increase the compute power, and you can go up to 150 concurrent sessions depending on the resources that you provide in the server.
okay.
Like there are yes, please.
Yeah, so that means like even in the enterprise also, I can use the service provider core also for my enterprise. Is right
Exact,
understanding to
exact,
increase the things. Okay. Okay.
yeah, that yes, but that in only case if you have a very large enterprise, because in terms of functionality, you will find the product very beneficial. The product is much better, like because it is offering a lot of services, like the SPC, the Edge portfolio. I would say like the Edge portfolio, consider it as like Corolla,
Hmm.
but the SBC Sui Edge is like Rolls Royce. So it is offering a lot more of the services. But again, the differences will come into financials. Like, for example, are you willing to spend this much amount for just uh, having a little bit number of concurrent sessions? So you have to decide on that. Okay. So we were talking about the SPC EdgeMark series. EdgeMark series is again, they are offered mostly by service providers. You can deploy it in small and medium enterprises as well. But what with EdgeMark service providers do is that they offer these devices as CPEs, the customer premises equipment. The same like you get an ONT or a modem from any service provider, your internet provider. These are such kind of devices. They offer ATA series, analog telephony adapters, 2 or 4 ports in the case of EdgeMark 302 and 304. In the EdgeMark 2900, again offers 300 concurrent sessions with an option of FXO and FXS, and it also offers the PoE functionality. So just in case if you want to connect, let's suppose an IP phone, so you just simply plug in the IP phone into the port and it will get the power from the EdgeMark 2900. Same is the case with EdgeMark 6000. The EdgeMark 6000 offer FXO, FXS along with LTE 4G option. So it has the LTE 4G option enabled for it. and it offers 500 concurrent sessions. And all of these SPCs that you see over here, it has been mentioned like the SPC Edgemark series are zero touch provision. There is a provisioning application called RAMP, Ribbon Application Management program. That is a management application. With that application, you can provision all of these SPCs at once with a single click. By the way, the ramp, this is a ramp is a completely different topic, but ramp can be used to provision the entire portfolio of Ribbon. Like you can configure with a single click, you can configure the SPC core portfolio. You can also configure SPC Edge portfolio, and you can also configure service providers Edgemark series of the SPC with ramp. But that is a completely different application. We are not going to talk about that.
Okay, so what are the SBC we are covering in this training? So that means like we are going for enterprise edge for SBC 1000 and SBC SWH. Is it right in this
Yes,
training?
yes, exactly, exactly. Yes, the SBC Edge portfolio, we will cover SBC 1000, and we have a deployment of SBC 3 Edge that we will cover. So we will talk about the different functionality and features of the enterprise edge. Like the core, the service providers, the service provider SPCs, it has a completely separate course, and that is like 5 days instructor led course, 8 hours each day. So that is a completely different path. That is a completely different path, I would say. Like you will not find the core SPCs more often, other than if you are working in some kind of a telco. Otherwise, you in most of the cases you will find the edge enterprise SPC. So the main focus of this course will be on the edge SPCs.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I guess that was all for the introduction about this course. So if you have any questions, please fire them up.
Talk about the ATA thing also, with the other SPC, which is Edge Mark 302 and 304. Are you also going to touch base on that?
Go back to previous slide and tell me.
And okay, right. Okay, you're talking about the Edgemark series.
Yes.
Edgemark, no, we will not discuss about these products because they have a complete different deployment. Yes,
Okay.
we can easily, like, we can have a touch base, but we will not go in more details.
So does SBC 1000, 2000, or SVH, they also support these ATS?
Yes, yes, exactly.
They support ATS. I mean,
Yes.
we are covering those ATS part
Yes,
there as well.
yes, yes. Like as we mentioned, like we will be talking about different protocols. We will talk about SIP. We will talk about ISTN, and then we will talk about CAS, the channel associated signaling. So in the channel associated signaling, we will talk about both the analog, the FXO, and the FXS. So we will definitely cover them in that series.
Guys, any other questions?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
see, Adnan, right? Okay. So, you said like you're working with Ribbon company or else working on Ribbon devices?
No, I'm working on. I'm not a Ribbon employee. I'm not working with Ribbon, but we have a deployment of Ribbon. Like I
Okay.
can train you. I'm a completely certified on Ribbon SPCs, but I'm not direct employee of Ribbon.
Okay, so like when you say like the Ribbon Edge, so which one is like I if I missed it, like which one is in the scope? Like is it SBC 1000, 2000, or SVH?
Mhm. Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, actually, SPC 1000 and 2000. The SPC that we will cover, in the SPC 1000 and SPC 2000, there is just a difference of concurrent sessions and a few ports that we will talk. So we will mostly stick to SPC 1000. SBC 1000 and SBC 2000 has almost completely same form factor, and we will discuss all of the functionality that is common between SBC 1000 and SBC 2000. Yes, we will talk about and we will cover SBC 2000 separately, but that module and that separate discussion will only be regarding only one administrator port, like SBC 1000 does not have any administrator port, and SBC 2000 has an administrator port. So we will talk about that administrator port in SBC 2000. And on the other hand, the SBC SWE Edge. So the SBC SWE Edge is a combination of SBC 1000 and 2000, but it does not have any TDM ports. So we will talk about both of them. Yes, the SBC 2000, we will cover SBC 2000, but that will be just only one slight difference, like the administrator port of the SBC 2000.
Yeah. So
So,
mostly we are covering on SBC thousands where we can show on FXS and FXO ports options. That is the physical
yes,
SBC. In case one is
yes,
for physical SBC is SBC 1000 and another is for software edge, that is we are installing on the VMware environment SBC
yes,
SWH. Okay. So rather than if you want to compare all the components like what are the section division, even you can Google also will get what's the 1000 and 2000 difference. What is this? So these all are related to sections and ports only. Nothing big. We covering
yes,
1000
exactly.
and we covering this. That's
The functionality of both SBC 1000 and 2000 will be absolutely the same. The only difference is the number of ports and the number of concurrent sessions as well. Like the SBC 1000 comes with one DSP chip built in inside it. The SBC 2000 can have three DSP chips. That's the only difference.
Okay,
yeah.
so when you say like you will cover means, so it will be from the scratch, like from the deployment also you will be covering, right?
Actually, the deployment of SBC 1000 and 2000 is completely the same. Let's suppose if SPC 1000 is having SIP connect 2000 is having SIP connectivity, so we will cover SIP connectivity in SPC 1000. If SBC 2000 has TDM connectivity, we will cover them again in 1000. And even if they have channel associated signaling, we will cover them in 1000. So
Uh,
whatever there is in SPC 2000, we will already cover them in SPC 1000.
See, guys, that SBC, okay, no need to compare 1000 and 2000, just leave it. SBC 1000 is physical device. Then we need to compare with only on the VMware part, that is SWH. One we have physical, one we are having the VMware environment. So we are going to install on the EXSI. Okay, on the like we are having the on-premises VMware, we are going to install one OVA on the VMware. Second thing, we are going to install on the cloud also. So for the lab part, we are just we will support you. Like we are going to create an account on Azure, and you guys are going to deploy the SBC on the Azure. That's the software part for the lab purpose. Okay, physically we are having 1000 and physically we are having VMware. Both will show. Plus we are going to show on the Azure side also to do the lab setups. And this section will be get recorded and it will be uploaded on the portal after every 2 hours once we completed the course. And to join this training, you should have the HH meeting. We need to get installed on the personal laptops. So you need to test it, then we can join. It's not on the Zoom. It's only on the weekends. We are starting on the March. So the timing we will just update you.
Adnan, for the SWE Edge, when it gets deployed on Azure and AWS, so how does the porting works? Is it the provider is like a operator connect gives backend, the SIP connectivity for the carriers for the DIDs? How does that work?
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you. Okay, for example, there are two options, and I would portray it in two different scenarios for you. So just you understand it. First of all, let's suppose you have the SPC, you are planning to deploy the SPC in the cloud, and you have a greenfield or a new deployment. So you would simply go to any cloud service provider like Twilio, Vonage, Ring Central, and they will provide you their public SIP trunking, and you can simply go and connect the SIP trunk to the SBC in the cloud. This is scenario number one. In scenario number two, you are again planning to deploy the SBC in the cloud, but you have your own trunk lines on premises and you do not want to get any new numbers and you do not want to change the numbers. You simply want to retain your existing trunk lines. In that specific scenario, what you can do is that you can create an SSL tunneling between your on premise and the Azure SPC, and you can simply connect your trunks to a router. Let's suppose you are having a SIP trunk, so connect that SIP trunk to a router locally and have a tunnel created between the Azure SPC or the AWS SPC and forward all of the SIP trunking to the cloud. So you can have both scenarios. I
Yeah,
hope I
so
answered the question.
yeah, you answered the question. But I'm
Mhm.
trying to basically compare it in the lights of Genesis. So those people,
Mhm.
they already have some interconnects with the telcos. You don't have to extend the trunk. I mean, as per my understanding. So,
No, Raven does not have any telco partner specifically. They
okay.
whatever is available in Azure, you can connect them directly to. Even if they are
Uh,
not available in Azure, you can still connect your trunk lines, as I mentioned. But Ribbon specifically does not have any favorite telco partner. They would recommend that, okay, we would recommend you to go for Twilio and purchase the trunking. No, there is not anything like this.
mm. So the on-prem, so our trunk is sitting on-prem.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a SIP trunk. Let's say 20 DIDs I have, and I am
Hmm.
spinning the AWS SBC on the Cloud Suite
Hmm.
edition.
Hmm.
So, so the call will come to my on-premises location, right?
Yes.
Now I'll have to send that to the SUI edition.
Yes, you have to send the call back to the cloud, whatever it is, Azure or AWS. The SPC will process the call. So let's suppose if you are connecting your SPC to Genesis, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or any cloud PBX, so you can transfer the call from directly the SPC in the cloud to, let's suppose, Microsoft Teams. Since
Mhm.
SPC is also in the Azure, Microsoft Teams is also in the Azure, so you will transfer the local call coming to your premises from your premises to the SPC in the Azure cloud. And on the other hand, the SPC will connect to Microsoft Teams. Same is the
Yeah,
case
but
with Zoom.
mhm. Yeah. So just
Yes.
one trick here. I don't have on-premises deployment here.
Hmm.
Okay, I want the call to come directly to the SUI edition, and from
Hmm.
there goes to time Teams. I don't have any footprint of the data center.
Then you have to get a public SIP trunk. Then you have to check with your service provider. Either they are
We
providing
are
public
covering
SIP
those
trunking.
in this training, Jabber. We are
Yes,
covering.
like that will be
Note, note
that will
that.
be covered in the
We are
deployment
covering the
scenario.
deployment. We are
Okay.
going to
Yeah.
cover on the cloud. What you are asking is technical, which we are going to cover. Okay.
Okay.
We are going to have a SBC in the Azure. We are going to connect with the service provider. Right hand side is service provider. Left hand side is Microsoft Teams. When you are called internal or external from the Microsoft Teams, it will work. The same thing in
Okay.
VMware. We are going to have on premises. Right hand side we are going to have the Airtel SIP service provider. Left hand side we are going to have the Microsoft Teams. So on premises also we are going to try. That will be start from scratch. Even if you don't know what is ribbon SBC also, we are going to implement from the scratch itself. Okay. Any other questions we have upcoming
Thank you.
another section? Any
Hey,
other?
hey, hey, Adnan.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning, Adnan. Is it
Yeah, good
possible to
morning.
cover the EMS part on the 5400 for this centralized and the local routing? Only theory part I need because I know we don't have this product covered in our training. So the
You by
PSX plays a vital role.
Yeah,
okay,
that
by
Uh,
actually.
EMS, you are
Uh,
talking about element management system.
Yes, yes, the EMS part on the 5400 product
yeah,
because
that
it comes.
Ashwin, that we are having separate slides also, separate training upcoming, particularly for the service provider. Okay, that we cannot take it on the enterprise edge because as the peoples are more in the like Wipro, HL, any enterprise, we are looking on the enterprise edge training. If you go for the core, we will cover separately for 5400, which he told already for 5 days training. We can't merge that one to here.
Yeah, that's a
So
completely different training.
Yeah, we can't even
Yeah,
give the outline also there. What exactly you are taking here and there. It's completely you need to sit on the middle of Enterprise Edge series with 1000 and SBC SWH. In case if you want to one also, particularly for service provider, we can take it forward that separately. That don't match here. It won't work.
no, no, I'm not mixing here. I'm just asking whether
Yeah,
is
that's
that
why. Actually, we have separate
topic.
training for that. We have more slides. Even this itself having more than 400 slides for us. So that is the problem.
Okay. Okay. Actually, the thing is that even the core SBCs, the core SBCs has a certification of 5 days instructor-led training, 8 hours each day. Okay. That is
Mm.
5 days just for support. Then there is another 4 days training, 8 hours each for implementation. Okay,
Correct,
so
correct,
in
correct.
total, this will be a 9 days training that Ribbon offers. So actually, Ribbon core SPCs, they are not a piece of cake. They are not even easy to deploy. Even if you deploy the SPCs, like this is very highly, I would say, like technical thing. So it has a complete, in total, both support and implementation. If I combine them, Ribbon will offer you the course for 9 days. So first you will have to, and the good thing is you will not study implementation first. You will study support first. You will study how to work on the SPC. Once you study how to work on the SPC, how to get knowledge on the SPC, then the next training, that is SBC. One training is SBCC, SBCC E11 and SBCC E22. So you will have to take 22 first, that is the support, and then you will have to come back to 11, that is the implementation. So in total 5 days and 9 days. So this is a completely different path. We will, in this particular case, we will stick to Edge portfolio only.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Any other
You're welcome.
questions?
Yes, yes. See, Sadhanan, so you said like when you explain SBC suite can have 5 sessions as well as like in this slide I can see as unlimited sessions. So it can cover like 2 lakhs of sessions also possible, right? When
Yes,
it stays
yes,
unlimited.
exactly, exactly. Just provide the compute power. If you want to go to 2 lakh, you will have to bring in NVIDIA latest GPUs for transporting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so like in that particular case, in the hardware edition, Ribbon has DSPs. In the virtual edition, you will have to bring in the NVIDIA GPU cards for transporting. So the more you have the compute power, the more you can go.
Okay. And next question I have is like you said like SBC with RAM we can integrate. So the configuration from RAM you said like it's the SIP RAM configuration or else the
No,
complete deployment configuration.
no. It is not generic SIP trunk. Even if you can. Uh, that is more in terms of service provider perspective. You can assign licenses. You can remove licenses in the matter of seconds. Like you simply will click, the SBC will get removed from the SBC licenses will be removed. So it means that SBC is nothing. Let's suppose, for example, if I am a service provider and I have a customer, the customer used my SBC for Microsoft Teams for 1 month, and now I sent him a bill that okay, you have to pay me this much as SPC as a service. Let's suppose I am a service provider and I'm selling SPC as a service to my customers. After 1 month, the customer is not paying my bill. What I will simply do, I will go to ramp, I will unallocate his licenses, and now his virtual machine is nothing. This virtual machine means nothing to him. So until and unless he pays me the bill. So that is just an example in terms of a service provider. So ramp is not only for management. Ramp has a lot of features. You can schedule, you can run cron jobs, you can do a lot of things. There are a lot of different things. that you can do on ramp. And ramp
so
will provide the capability to manage all of these SBCs, including the service provider, the enterprise, and the edge mark.
okay, so in this training, are we covering like how to assign the licenses to the edge SBC using that?
No, we are not covering ramp.
So how
Ramp,
do we assign the license? It is a license key installation.
yes, like you assigning licenses to edge SBCs is pretty much straightforward. You will receive an email from the ribbon, and you will get in that email you will get order number. You simply go to support portal on ribbon, enter that order number and the serial number of the SBC, and you will be able to download the license and upload the license to the SBC. That's all.
Hmm. Okay. What about the certificates part? Like, are we covering that?
Yes, obviously, once we are talking about Microsoft Teams, so connecting Microsoft Teams, this certificate is a mandatory part. Without certificate, we cannot connect to Microsoft Teams, so we will definitely cover that.
So
Regarding
do
Microsoft Teams, you will get everything.
okay, Baltimore, that DG cert, and the
Yes, yes,
SBC
yes,
primary
yes.
certificates.
Everything,
Okay, those
everything,
certificates.
everything, everything will be covered regarding
So guys,
certificates.
can we stick on to the roadmap of out of syllabus questions we can discuss after the sessions?
See, certificates and licensing are not out of syllabus questions. They are like we need that completely. Then only to. And next question I am having is like for the mechanism of authentication mechanism. Are we covering that like the tags, radius modifications, those things? Are we covering?
No, that is advanced. The SIP message manipulation, like for example, SMM, that is called the SIP message manipulation. The SBA and the radius server, these things are in the SBC advanced course. They are not covered here.
And so the transformation table expressions rejects not we are not
No,
covering.
no, no, they will be covered. They are the basic functionality of the SBC, but there are a couple of things like the radius server configuration, the SBA configuration, and the SIP message manipulation and emergency calling. I can touch base on that, but they have their dedicated modules, so we will not be covering them in detail. I will provide you an idea, like I'll give you an idea how these things will work. But there is in even the SPC Edge portfolio, Ribbon offers two courses. One is the standard, the one that we are going to cover. It will cover all of the regex transformation tables, call routing, signaling groups, SIP servers, routes, everything it will cover. But then there is an advanced course, SPC Edge Advanced, from offered by Ribbon, and in that course they provide you the SIP message manipulation. Okay, just in case if you receive out of order SIP messages, and your next peer is not receiving this properly, so how are you going to manipulate the SIP headers? Then how to configure the SBA for Microsoft Teams, and then the radius server. These are the advanced features. We will not cover it here.
Okay, so SBA and the other thing is fine, but this same with message manipulation is a general thing, right? So that I think we should cover in this session.
I can give you an
That's
overview, but I cannot commit. Like I cannot commit. We will not have a full discussion on SMM.
So yes, something we're having for advanced, so that's why. Okay, it's not like to if we are covering, we need to cover all the together, even for 5400 portfolio also. Something we are having on the this. It's not a basic training; it's a essential training we can tell, because who and all doesn't know this SBC, how to implement, how to configure, and everything will be covered here. So everything we have a stage, right? Stage one, stage two, stages. So like that we are having SBC essential course, which we are getting entered to the products knowledge and everything. Then we have advanced. Then after that, the core service provider SBC will come in the picture. So if any more queries about anything, you can ping me one to one, as we have 10 o'clock another sections. So one to one you can ping me, and we'll give the course description also, like what and all covering one more time in the one to one. And the course fees is 20,000, and we are planning for this March weekend. That is Saturday, March 1st. We are planning for this training. Okay, so it's a 20,000
mhm.
fees. Okay, so
For the
Okay,
anything
duration,
yes.
you want the final last question.
Yeah.
What's the duration? How many hours? Like
Like it's a 1 month course we are planning, so it will be ended on the March. 1 second, someone is speaking. Okay, it's a 1 month course, so we are trying to cover like a 2 to 3 hours, like 2 hours we are keeping like Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. So timing may be 11 a.m. We are planning because some people are in another training also with other friends circle like dialogue flow or something. So we are planning on 11 a.m. That will be 2 hours on Saturday, Sunday, 2 to 3 hours. In case we can't able to complete within the this period of time, we will increase 2 to 3 hours, but we'll try to fix within this month, 4 weekends. Maybe we'll cover on third week itself, we may be end, or we'll extend to fourth week also. That's a syllabus we are having 400 slides.
Hi
Okay.
Jiva. So basically, your guest this side. I joined bit late. Do you have recording of this session? Can I
Yeah,
get the recording?
this section is demo section is not recorded, so that's we won't record demo sections always. Okay, so we can connect one to one, like what are the queries you are having. Okay, anyway, I have the slides also, so that will take her. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
See, okay. So Adnan, so next thing like for the integration part, we as you said like MS Teams will be covered. So next thing like Genesis, this UCM, any IPv6 like streaks and IP phones, will that be covering in this?
Once you cover Microsoft Teams, you will be good to do any kind of configuration, whether it is Genesis or Cisco Call Manager. You simply need to change IP addresses. Like the basic things, we will also cover. We will always cover, even if you.
But the
Uh,
certification, the certificates will
ye-
be different, right?
y- yes, exactly. The certificates. You need to simply change the certificates, and like once you do the configuration on Microsoft Teams, Genesis and other platforms will not be a problem.
And IP phones also will be having the same type of configuration.
Yes,
And then
yes, yes.
and the recording of each session will be available for lifetime, right?
Now it's a
Gio?
1 year. It is a 1 year. It will be uploaded on the portal. Okay, we have the LMS
Okay.
portal. It will be uploaded. Like if it is completing at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, we can means you will get it at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock itself, so you can watch
Mhm.
it. So you have 1 week time. So that's what I'm trying to say. There is nothing is lifelong. You have like starting is 1 week. We are having the gap between each week of the training. We can go to the videos. We can do the lab practices also. So anyway, we are extended from 6 months to 1 year validity. Even it is not needed as we are more technical professional. Even we will throw these videos after 3 week, maybe 3 months itself. Still, if needed, it is having already 1 year.
So 1 week between each sessions means it's not a daily basis. Is it for Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, it is Saturday, Sunday. Okay, I we already mentioned right, it's a weekend training.
Okay,
Only
and
on
maybe
Saturday,
IP is
Sunday.
first.
Yeah, yeah. Only on Saturday,
Mhm.
Sunday. Any training we are having upcoming Zoom voice. We are having. We have nice also. All training will be on the Saturday, Sunday only. Nothing is on Monday to Friday.
And
Okay.
once we configure the SBCs for Microsoft Teams, we will use the same SBCs for our next upcoming course, that is the Zoom phone system and contact center.
Yes, correct.
But that is in future. I cannot say for sure
Yeah,
when
we
it
are
is
having.
coming.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So
Which certificate, which ribbon certificate this course is going to be mapped with? Like you said, it's SBC E20 or 22 something. Right?
Yes, exactly. That is something I need to check. Just give me a minute.
So at least we can have a like a basic
Yes, so
agenda
you can
on
have a
before that.
yeah, you can have like a comparison. Okay. It is SBC Edge Implementation and Support Professional Certificate. Go to, let me
I think
check
you
it
should not
on.
share the certificate. I stop the sharing for you. You edit and share later because it's having others'
Okay,
name also on the certificate. Okay,
right.
so
Okay,
don't
okay,
share
no
now.
problem.
We guys, we will share that one separately. Okay.
No, I just need the name of that course.
Maybe
That's
you
it.
can just
Yeah.
It
give the
is
name.
SBC Edge Implementation and Support Certification. I
That's
guess it will be
SBC
SBC
E20.
2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other queries? Like we are having another training audio code, so we need to join. So I hope anything
Just
means just this is
just
yeah.
one last doubt I have. Like initially somebody was asking about some ATS. So I'm not aware of ATS what it is. Could you please explain what is ATS?
Okay, like that
Like
is
the
something. Then this is
analog phone,
something
right?
very basic.
What is it?
Okay,
What is the full form
analog
and what is
telephone adapters are ATAs. Do you have any idea about that?
Yeah, I will tell one more thing. Okay, see guys, like see for example, I'm having analog phone. How I will connect analog phone to the SBC? Okay, that is the adapter, AT adapter, where we are going to do in lab also. I am going to connect analog phones directly to the ribbon SBC, which is on the 1000. Then after that, what we are going to do means we are going to do all the different configuration with the service provider with the Microsoft Teams. So the AT is nothing but how we can use the analog phones, previous analog phones. Even it can be used for FXO also. It will be included. It's like a slot which is included on the SBC 1000 because
Yeah. By the way, like you can do two things. You can either bring in an external ATA and connect it to the SPC, or you will find those ports already available on the SPC. The SPC I'll show you. I guess yes, they will have these ports.
yeah, we will do from
Okay, with the
scratch.
same number we can connect it with SBC. An
I
analog
sorry, I
telephone will
didn't
have
get.
analog
Yes,
telephone
yes,
line will be having a
Basically,
same number.
basically,
yes.
if we ask that ATA is something which connect analog to IP, is that statement correct?
Yes, you are right.
Thank-
Analog subscriber stations, not the trunk side.
Yeah, analog subscribers basically.
Yes, exactly. You're absolutely right. For example, if you have analog phones and you want to connect them to some kind of an Ethernet packet technology communication platform, so you will bring in an ATA. An ATA is nothing, just a gateway. It's a small device that will convert signaling from SIP to analog for the IP for the analog phone, and from analog take the signal and convert it to SIP for the PBX side or the SPC or whatever platform you are using.
Okay,
Basically,
and
for the phones where there is no network, internet. So if
Yes,
you have to
exactly.
connect this, that's
Yes,
the
yes,
important
exactly.
concept.
Yeah.
it's for the old phone, unlock phone. And guys, one more thing about the lab setups. You guys are going to build your own lab. We are not going to give our VMware SBC, nothing we are providing. We are going to open an account on the Microsoft and we are going to install the SBC on the Azure cloud where we are having 30 days free trial. So the lab is completely from your end only and we are going to guide. We have the step-by-step video for that. Okay. So whenever you want to start your lab, you can start your lab at any time. We are doing from scratch configuration on the Azure side. And even you no need Microsoft Teams license also for like E5 license or something where we can work on the trial license. So that lab is completely from your end. We are going to support you how to create the lab yourself. And no
So Ziva,
PPTs.
HA will be covered in this session.
Sorry?
That Adnan need to tell. Adnan, like you are covering HA in this, like theoretical or something. HA.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
we will cover
Adnan
that.
already said, right? I mean, if you have 1000 license or concurrent session license, and if you want to increase on your edge device to 2000, you can have another device, right? There, you can add another 1000 and you can get
Yeah.
2000 rather
That
than
is,
Yeah.
if you want to
but that is
go
an
PhD.
extension.
Guys,
HA is
we
different.
are. I am just going to stop this training because I am running out of audio training. So, any questions you please ping me. Any technical or something related to this training, you please ping me. Okay, we will discuss. Okay, and this will be on the HH meeting. You need to get to install the HH meeting on your laptop, and it will be it will be uploaded. Videos will be uploaded for 1 year on the LMS portal. What else? You guys are going to create your own lab. We are going to guide you, and it will be on the weekends training. And the fees is 20,000. We are starting on the March 1st. So more other any queries, please ping me one to one on the WhatsApp. So I can after my audio training, I will reply to you guys. Okay.
What
Thank you
is
so
your
much.
number? What is your number, please?
That is in the group itself, right? You guys are having in the group, not in the group.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
He's in
Okay.
Yeah, it
the
will be a group.
admin. He's the admin.
Yeah, admin. So you guys please ping me because I am running out of time. Okay, anything will be just discuss one to one also, no issue. Okay, yeah, and HA will be covered. I think someone is asked today that will be covered. Anything you ping me one to one, I will give straightforward the answer also there. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.